It all began with a homeless teenager forced to sleep in a Grand Prairie grocery store parking lot, and a remarkable woman who saw him and refused to look the other way.
It really just kind of broke my heart that nobody was helping him. That, you know, I didn't understand why, number one, the community didn't know, and number two, why we weren't doing something about it.
Soon after, Angela founded the Lifeline Shelter for Families, and 14 years later,
we have helped almost 1,500 families and 3,000 children.
Lifeline's success lies in its mission, which from the start has focused on reducing homelessness among children in the Grand Prairie Independent School District.
Children are traumatized by homelessness. Children are traumatized by abuse. They're traumatized by not knowing what's next. So even in times of tragedy, children find comfort in continuity. They find comfort in routine.
By stabilizing the children, their grades go up, their attendance goes up, their behavior goes up, their success rates go way up. And we then attempt to, by doing all of that, attempt to break that cycle.
It's an opportunity to truly impact a life by giving a family stability for a period of time that's needed, really so that the parents, and very often the mom, can get back on her feet.
One extraordinary example of that is Pamela Borhan.
I thank God that they came into my life at the right time. They really did. If it weren't for them, I'll be in the shelter right now.
Because of Lifeline, she's been able to keep her 15-year-old son Dylan in the special education program at South Grand Prairie High School, where he just completed 9th grade.
He loves school. He wants to be here and he does his best, and he's really fun to teach.
The journey that eventually led them to Lifeline Shelter started for Pamela over 19 years ago, after the man she had married back in their native home of Nigeria came to America, and then got her to join him in New Jersey.
In Africa, you're raised to obey your husband. I mean, you don't talk back and you ignore a lot of things, which I did. And it was physically and mentally abusive.
Something she says she lived with through the birth of their son Dylan in 2002 and for several years after, until
I just felt like I've had enough, and I decided to leave. I moved so far off, he didn't know where I was. There was a guy I knew a while back, and this guy was willing to help me. And that's how I got to Texas.
her relationship with that second man soon developed into more than just friendship. And while they lived together, first in Fort Worth and then here in Grand Prairie, Pamela was able to stay at home and give her son the kind of full-time attention that he requires.
He has Klinefelter syndrome, and Klinefelter kids, they grow up with, I would say, abnormal growth, because my son is only 15 years old, but he's 6 foot already. And they are also mentally delayed. He's 15, but he has a mind of a 7-8-year-old. Also, Klinefelter kids think they're normal. They don't see anything wrong with them. But I tell you what, he's 15 and I have to tie his shoes in the morning. I get up 5:30, and I have to take care of him.
A prospect that she suddenly faced all alone when that second man
Just up and left. There was no argument, there was no...
And you take a situation that's already tough and make it seem almost impossible.
No job, no food stamps, no means at all.
You were probably at the lowest point of your life when the second man walked out and left you. You didn't even have a job, right?
I told her something, Miss Vivian, that I've never shared with anybody. I tried to kill myself because I figured, why is this happening to me? Why me? I'm not a bad person. I don't feel like I deserve this.
She says the thing that saved her, the one thought that kept going through her mind.
If you do that, what about your son?
So instead, she reached out, and with help from the apartment manager where they live and the GPISD's connection coordinator, Sonia Ortega, she found Lifeline.
The very first time I met her, she was low. She was letting me know at that point, she goes, you know, I haven't eaten all day and we don't have money and I'd rather for my son to eat than me. So I gave her a Kroger food card that day, and I was like, go to the school district, because I'd heard that they were hiring. And the next week she's like, they called me, I have an interview, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh.
I was very excited, even though I had no car or anything, but I know it's close enough. Whatever it takes, I'll get up on time to be there on time.
And without a car, that means walking to work every day. From their apartment, paid for with rental assistance from Lifeline, to her job on the custodial staff at the same place where Dylan goes to school. A place that has now become a kind of home away from home for both of them.
I really just love staying at South Prairie because moving to another school is just going to push me back down, and I just don't want that again.
I have to get up every morning and do what I have to do to make a day, you know, better for him.
High school has just been the most best for me, and I really want to stay here and graduate and finish everything.
Pamela is determined for that to happen, and with a renewed sense of purpose, she continues to work to make ends meet, while also taking computer training classes at the Christian Women's Job Corps, also because of Lifeline, where she's learned to set new goals and found new hope for her and Dylan.
I'm hoping that when I'm done with the program, I'll be able to get maybe an administrative job or maybe work in an office. If you truly want to succeed, they can make it happen. It's not easy. But you know what? I'm still standing. I'm still going to keep pushing, because that's what I think or I believe I'm supposed to be doing for me and my son.